Ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Once again, I'm Nev from the Riot Review. It is August 30th, 2020, and riots are continuing. Saturday seems to always be a crazy day when it comes to this disturbances going on across the U.S. Saturday nights are always the most violent. Something just crazy thing happens on Saturdays. Sometimes Sunday night, sometimes Monday night, but always Saturday night. Anyways, let's get into it. First off, I should probably touch on politics a little bit. This is a bit of a funny video where Ted Wheeler, mayor of Portland, is telling the Trump that it's actually Trump's fault that this violence is going on, and now he has to stop the violence that Trump has started in Portland. It's like listening to two married people fight one another, and it's just it's hilarious, entertaining, and so sad at the same time. I get a little bit concerned with all of the hammer and sickles that I see scattered here and there within the Antifa ranks. And the word peaceful is being pushed around quite a bit when it comes to protesters. CNN had that recent video where they were talking about what was going on in Kenosha, mostly peaceful. Anyways, the man who was murdered last night in cold blood was part of the Patriot Prayer Boys. And of course, he is on the right side of the protests. And here we have an image of the individual that the internet is now accusing of pulling the trigger. And they got this information based off the neck tattoo, and the outfit. One really stupid and really funny thing happened because of the shooting. A lot of people on the far left Antifa side heard that this shooting was a white man shooting a black man, and it's probably in their hysteria, pearl clutching worry that the right was there to protest. That's a big thing that went on this Saturday. The right came there and protested during the night shift. I think that this is the first time that patriots, that people on the right, I gotta be careful with what I call them because I got a lot of Nancy's out there that hate it when I just generalize and give them one name. So what's going on here is an individual has run into the gas station and is trying to hide because these kids out here thinks that he had something to do with the shooting, which was, of course, was complete BS. And it just shows you how a little bit of anger and anarchy can fuel a situation. Look how much camera gear we got out here. It's amazing. And it seems to be just one idiot with a skateboard for the most part who's causing most of the damage. As if somewhere back here he realized, look at these white chicks. Anyways, somewhere around here he realized how easy his skateboard could be used. So he started smashing things. Skateboards are incredibly useful for the far left here for many reasons, and they're totally legal to have around. They're such an effective weapon. It's crazy. So here we have more video, more new just released video of Kyle. This is an earlier video of Kyle beating up women. Kyle's right here. They're arguing over, something. The gist of it is that Kyle is attacking and fighting a woman. There, he just gave her a punch. He's just giving him some more punches. So it's not like Kyle's Jesus or anything, of course. But really, we shouldn't be hitting women. We really shouldn't be hitting women. And I want to segue that into the way that I found this was from another YouTuber. I think you guys should check this guy out, Towley2110LOL. I'll leave a link to his stuff in the description. He is, he drops some really good stuff. He's a really observant guy. And he talks a lot about what he sees, and he tells you what he sees. And he's good at what he does, so I definitely recommend you check this guy out. Anyways, this guy's got all the facts, but ultimately what they get at is that Kyle beat up a kid or a girl, and he's got legal issues because of it. So just ongoing information train about the people we're dealing with. It's interesting because when you get into it, all of the people that have been in the news for their level of violence, like Kyle, like the people that got shot by Kyle. They all seem to have a little bit of a history. They're not clean slate people on either side of it, and maybe that's just the boiling point of the first level of things slipping into hell. The people who would get out there and be disagreeable and rough are the first people to slip into it. And there's a lot of people that want to slip into it, but we got to be reasonable and we got to be peaceful and have peaceful means. So there's a lot of information going around about the murder victim in Portland. Anyways, r/Portland is full of a lot of lefties. National news outlet reporting that Patriot Prayer is based out of Portland, Oregon, even though its leader and high-profile member are from Washington. So it sounds like he's actually from the Portland metropolis area, so it's kind of debatable. I mean, you get people living outside of the city saying that they live inside of the city. You know what I'm talking about. So they're kind of throwing it up in the air exactly where he's from. Now, the nuance in this is if he comes from outside of town, the argument is that he shouldn't have been there in the first place. But if he was inside of town, then he had every right to be there, and it was okay. That's the narrative. That's kind of the which way that each side would try to pull it. Anyways, that's how it's going there. Rioters, looters could lose unemployment benefits under new bill. That would be an interesting one, eh? So, like I said, it has potential to get pretty bad because it's a Sunday night. Friday nights are generally quiet. Sunday nights are up in the air. You can say it, we have multiple live streams going on woke.net. Multiple things going on. So far, I don't think anyone's blocking any road. No, I think this guy's blocking the road. Or is that a laneway? I have to wait till morning to see how things go. So one interesting thing about the situation is all of this violence in all of these far left places is starting to terrify a lot of people. And these lots of people seem to be changing their minds about who they vote for. Because it's definitely in the left-leaning states where they don't ask for National Guard and stuff like that things get worse. Kyle wouldn't have had the whole Kyle thing would have never happened if that town, Kenosha, had asked for as many National Guard as was requested. They basically got the number of National Guard that the people under them requested, and they cut it in half. And then the next night they bring in all the National Guard that they should have had. They have to ask for help, but they don't, because they think that having these things there will make it even worse. But anyways, it seems to be a lot of people are upset with this. They don't feel safe, so they think that they'll be voting for Trump because they know that Trump will do something for them about it. I think no one can really judge anybody based off a decision like that unless they've actually had rioters and protesters coming around to their house at night and worry that they might destroy something. As a side note, this particular protester has been arrested based off of outstanding warrants. He broke his probation in doing this and in coming here, I believe. So one of the major things I want to point out, but conveniently don't have any video of right now, is the Proud Boys coming to the night shift in Portland. That's definitely one giant change point. Normally it is just the rioters versus the police, or the rioters versus the feds. But this is the first time, I believe this is the first weekend, we've seen people from the protesters from the right coming out and counter-protesting after dark. So if you come out after dark, you become basically part of the rioters, even if you're working for the government. Maybe that even makes you a vigilante. But it's interesting to see a situation like this where there is where the people from the right just come out to the Portland protesters at night. It's crazy. It's just crazy, and crazy things happen. And we're going to see more of this stuff. They have the right to be there, but wow, it's an interesting situation. Anyways, that's it for me. Nev from the Riot Watch. Have a good one, folks, and take care of each other.